Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Purple Luna Podcast. And here today we are doing a quick chat. In today's quick chat, we are going to be covering the Oscar nominations and kind of going over our thoughts and everything, our predictions and everything. And before we begin, Savanna, how are you doing? Sipping on? We both have the same cup right now because I bought her the same exact coffee maker, and it
Best
came with the
present
cup.
ever. No, I'm so excited to talk about the Oscars. I wore my movie sweatshirt,
Love it, love
so
it.
I'm excited. What about you?
So I'm excited too, but I do want to have a disclaimer. I did not see every single film. And I will probably and you might be like, but you haven't seen the film. Why are you judging it? It's just for funsies. It's just for
Yeah.
fun. We're just giving our predictions and stuff. I was always the type of person that whenever I watch the Oscars, I would have like a little sheet of like all my guesses and everything. And I would try
Yeah.
to see how many I would get correct and stuff. And I would enter those little dumb competitions that's like, if you get all of them correct, you win $2,000. And I would never get a single one of them right. Especially like I remember where I was so close. Oh my god, I was like one category away. I was one category away from getting all the main categories right. And of course, it was the shocker that occurred when Spotlight had won, when no one was
Oh.
expecting it. So when Spotlight, I was like, I was screaming because I had lost the contest.
Before we actually get into it, I do want
Okay.
to talk about two specific snubs.
Okay.
Mia Goth. I was not surprised that she didn't get nominated, but like she did give probably one of the best performances of the year. And pretty much
Like,
anybody from Triangle of Sadness also did not get
dude,
nominated, which was a
yeah. For Mia Goth
travesty.
and everything, I have not seen Pearl yet. I have the DVD. I promise I will. I want to. But I have seen scenes and everything from
Yeah,
it.
me too.
And like she's an incredible actress. Like I've seen this
Right.
like the outro to the film, like the ending of the film and stuff, and that like sustained smile that she has, and you just see her like losing it as she smiles. Like she's a brilliant actress.
Yeah.
So even it is a little bit of a surprise because with other A24 films like Everything Everywhere All at Once getting nominated in all these categories, I'm surprised that she didn't kind of sneak in somewhere along the way.
The Oscars have a tendency not to look at horror actresses, which is a huge mistake.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Triangle of Sadness, I'm happy got some nominations, but
Some,
the fact
but
that no acting is just horrible in my opinion.
it should have gotten. I think definitely for oh my god, I'm trying to remember the character's name. The one of the they called her like you're the bathroom specialist, and then she was the one
Oh,
that's like, no, i'm
Dolly?
the
What was
i'm
her
the
name?
captain.
Dolly? The
Yeah,
actress?
Dolly.
Yes.
She should have been nominated. I thought she was
100%.
incredible. She was Golden Globe nominated, so I was
Yes.
surprised that she didn't get the Oscar nominated. So we'll give some shout outs to like categories and stuff like that, but they are categories where we haven't seen some of the stuff. But I still want to give a shout out to short films. Go short films. I'm a horrible short film director. I only make short films, and yeah, I never watch any of them.
Yeah.
To be fair, they're typically very inaccessible, or
Yeah.
at least that I found that a lot of short films are just really hard to find. So the short film animated ones are The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, The Flying Sailor, Ice Merchants, My Year. It's called My Year of Dicks. An ostrich told me the world is fake, and I think I believe it.
What a title.
My bet goes on the last one, an ostrich told, just for that sick title.
I've
But
heard a
I
lot about the first short film. I've heard
The Boy,
very
the
good
Mole, the
things.
Fox, and the Horse.
Yes, because I think it's a book.
Oh, okay. And
So,
so this is animated short film categories. Then there's
yeah.
also the live action one where we have An Irish Goodbye, Invalou, La Pupille, Night Ride, and then The Red Suitcase. I personally don't recognize any of the directors or anything on here, but still love to see. I will be heartbroken the day that short films, because I would love to just be the type of person that like maybe I won't get Best Picture, but if I could just rack up a bunch of short film Oscar
Yeah.
nominations and things like that, like that would be sick. I feel like that's like a gem of a category that you can easily tap into compared to like, Best
Yeah,
Picture and things like that.
for sure.
Then there's sound. So this film, I didn't hear a lot of, but when I heard of it, I heard it was incredible and I want to see it. I'm surprised there wasn't more awareness of it, but All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes, that's a remake.
Yes, it is. So I'm surprised. Like, I've heard like it's 1917 level good. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm also surprised that if it is that good, that it hasn't gotten as much wind as other war films.
Yeah.
Usually whenever there's a war film like this, especially World War One, World War Two, like war films and things, usually they always skyrocket onto the top of people's lists and onto like just to talk about and stuff. So I was pretty
Was
surprised that
it
this
even
kind of
in
went under the
theaters?
radar.
It wasn't in theaters, was
I
it?
think
'Cause
it
I
was a
didn't.
Netflix only.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear about it.
So All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar or Tuvatar, The Way of the Water.
Tuvatar.
The Batman is nominated for sound. Which,
Okay.
okay. Elvis, and
Oh,
then Top Gun Maverick.
I feel like probably Elvis, just based off what I've seen.
That and then also Baz Luhrmann films usually have like iconic scoring, iconic sound and music and things like that. He's always been really good at hiring people to create such unique soundtracks and scores. And although this isn't the soundtrack category, I think Elvis has a good shot of winning that.
I agree.
So let's go to visual effects. So we have All Quiet on the Western Front, Tuvatar, The Batman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun Maverick.
If anybody deserves visual effects, it has to be Tuvatar. I did see it
Yeah,
in theaters. It was the visual aspect of it was outstanding.
yeah.
So if Avatar deserves anything, it's probably this category. And
What do you think
probably
could potentially be the underdog, though? Like, what do you think could? Because I feel like the Oscars did not like Avatar. I'm getting a little bit of like, yeah, we'll nominate it, but like,
because we have to.
yeah, I'm getting
Um
that from it. I mean, it's kind of notorious that no one likes working with James Cameron. Like, he's a douche.
quite a reputation.
So
The interesting is I think if any other category would win, it would be like deliberate because Avatar visually was that outstanding. So if any other
yeah,
category is winning, it's just because they do not want James Cameron or anybody from that movie to
I
get an
think
Oscar.
maybe Black Panther Wakanda Forever could be the
Right.
like slip in for there, but I think Avatar has a pretty good shot at that. Just because when you're going to see any type of Avatar film for the next 10 years, who knows when that next film's going to come out, man. But when we're in our 80s
40s?
and we
Yes.
we watched Avatar 3 and James Cameron has prepared a film 40 years ago in the past and is like now going through and everything, craziness and all stuff like that. We'll
Yeah.
still go, at least it was good visuals. At least it was really good. Then
Yeah.
we have writing, adapted screenplay. All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, Living. Not familiar with
Okay.
that. It says it's written by Kazuo Ishiguro, so maybe a Japanese, like maybe Japan's official selection
We
film.
love that.
Top Gun Maverick, and then Women Talking. Did you see Women Talking?
It did.
So it's directed by Sarah Polley. Do you know who Sarah Polley is? Sarah Polley is one of the actresses from Mr. Nobody. She's the wife that has like the bipolar disorder. Yeah, so she
What?
directed
Good for
Women
her.
Talking.
Um, hmm. So okay, it's hard because like entertainment wise, I liked Glass Onion, but I guess adapted. I could see Women Talking getting it. Um, I
I hope
didn't
Women
see.
Talking gets it because I hear a lot of people say Sarah Polley was kind of snubbed for Best Director, that Women Talking was really well directed and stuff. From what I heard, I haven't seen it. So I kind of root for her. I don't know. Something's telling me Top Gun. Something's
Top Gun,
telling me Top
listen,
Gun might get it.
Top Gun was a good movie. Like I think, and it saved the theaters. We have to just give it that. Like
Yeah.
Top Gun was the reason people went to the movies again. It was a fun blockbuster. It was really good. But again, I have a thing where it's like, was it like Oscar worthy? I know that sounds pretentious,
Yeah.
but when we think about the other films, is it there? Again, I didn't see All Quiet on the Western Front, so I don't know. I
Yeah.
like Top Gun, and if it did get it, I wouldn't be mad. I do think Women Talking probably will get it. It seems like an Oscar-esque movie.
And one thing that I think we have to take into consideration, because since this is writing the best adapted screenplay, is the vote on how good the screenplay is based on how good the movie is as a whole, or
Yeah.
how much it reflects the original source. Because if that's the case, if it is about how it reflects the original source, then maybe All Quiet on the Western Front could take this category.
Probably. That's
So,
a good
I mean,
point.
like, you can't really mess up historically that type of area without
That's
people
true.
pointing fingers.
You're like,
So if it is going to, if we're looking at adapted screenplay as like which is the most accurate adaptation, then probably All Quiet on the Western Front has it in the bag. If it's just
okay.
a whether or not if it is the best, that's one thing I never realized. Like if it's based on its how it's adapted, or is it based on overall structure and writing?
Right.
So yeah, I feel like it's Women Talking, if it's the one way, All Quiet on the Western Front, if it's another way, and then maybe that Top Gun Maverick is our little wild card.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now we go into original screenplay. So this is where it gets tricky. Okay. The Banshees of Inisherin,
Oh.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans.
Nah.
Oh, sorry. Nah.
Nah.
Spielberg.
We're a
Go to
hater
your
on here for
room.
that movie. Come on.
Go to your room. Go to therapy. Talk about your
Go
issues
to
with your mother in
therapy.
therapy.
Come on. No.
Tar or Tare, however it's
Okay.
pronounced. And then Triangle of Sadness.
Okay. So that's hard. I see, like, I hope anybody but the Fablemans. I'm not gonna lie. I did not like that movie. But Everything Everywhere All at Once is just a star-studded nominated movie already.
Yeah.
So I do think like the film is so good it can get it.
Yeah.
But in terms of original, Triangle of Sadness, 100%.
Yeah.
Across the board. Like, I just think it's that good of a screenplay. It's that good of a film.
You know what I also realized? How on earth was Everything Everywhere All at Once not nominated for visual?
Yeah. I don't know how some of these other movies got in there, but yeah.
But Top Gun?
Yeah, what was the I don't know.
I mean, doesn't Tom Cruise do all his own stunts? Isn't that the thing?
They have to edit. Yeah.
So okay, so for writing
guess
original screenplay, I'm rooting for anything Triangle of Sadness.
I
So,
think they
but
deserve
I'm
it.
not going to be upset if Everything Everywhere All at Once or
Yes.
Banshees of Inisherin wins. I saw like 30% of Banshees of Inisherin, and I just do nonstop impressions of it, so that makes me feel like I watched the full thing. I watched one scene or two scenes, and they one of them was so funny. It was with oh my God, what's his name? He's the one who's going to be like the new Joker and everything like that. He's the younger guy.
Barry Keogh, is it?
Barry Keogh. There's
Yeah.
one scene where he's literally like him and Colin Farrell go into a room, and the father, his father's nude, and Colin Farrell's like, oh my God. And Keogh is just like, don't be quiet. I never wake up my father after a wank. And it's it was just weird stuff. And then also, like, there was that one scene trending on like film Twitter where it was like him talking about like wanting to be with a girl and everything like that. And I do think that has a possibility of winning it. So, but I'm still number one for me is going to be Triangle of Sadness. Did you ever watch Banshees of Inisherin?
I saw, yeah, I did see it. I didn't
Okay.
like it. I feel like I need to learn like an Irish accent so we can reenact that on Purple Noon.
Yeah. It's so funny because my dad, that's like my dad's favorite film of the year. And so, because he just loved it, he thought it was so funny and everything like that. And it is. And like the delivery between Colin Farrell and what's his name, the other guy, not Barry Keogh, but the other lead of that film,
Yes.
just so good at delivery, just so good at delivering stuff. And so like when me and my dad just go around the house just like, I don't want to be your friend anymore.
Listen,
and like just go there.
You do that to me, if you ever do that to me, I'm checking myself into the nearest hospital.
But like if
I'm
my
out.
dad like gets upset of our dogs and stuff, I'll just hear him go, I'll cut off one of my fucking fingers, you know. So very, very funny. I really like from what I've seen, Banshees of Inisherin, but Triangle of Sadness, my favorite movie of the year.
It deserves it.
Now, so we already talked about visual effects, adapted screenplay, original screenplay, sound. We went over the short films. Now let's talk about production design. So All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, Babylon, Elvis, and then The Fabelmans.
Let me tell you something. Babylon had so much potential.
Yeah.
The message of this movie,
and this was a Damien Chazelle film, right?
Yes, it had so much potential. He just, in my opinion, didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And added a lot of unnecessary stuff and did not advertise for, nobody knew this movie was coming out. It's a 3 hour and something epic film.
I'll be completely honest, this film I kept getting confused with Amsterdam. I genuinely looking at
the color
them,
scheme is the same.
I had no idea which one was which. Which is the one where Taylor Swift gets run over?
Amsterdam.
Okay. Okay. That's the only thing I know. But yeah, like with this, I genuinely like I had no desire to see it because I'm like, well, didn't that come out? And both of them star Margot Robbie, right?
It's confusing. But it's actually like a good premise. Like what he's talking about, the love of films, but the evil of Hollywood. And it's so good, but it's also just like, dude, there's just a lot of missed opportunity. There's a lot of like things that didn't need to be in the film.
Yeah.
So I don't see Babylon walking away with this compared to the other films.
Even though, I think Elvis might take this one as well with the production design and everything like that. I mean, maybe Avatar, but I personally, I think I also like more vintage aesthetic and stuff. So I like the Elvis aesthetic more than the Avatar aesthetic, if that makes sense. So
I think, I
would lean towards Elvis. But once again, if All Quiet on the Western Front pops up, it's a World War I film, or I believe it's World War I, not World War II.
No, it's World War I. You're right.
Okay. So, but I would not be surprised if that ends up coming about somewhere and just kind of sweeping I'll say the lower levels of categories, even though they're still important and stuff, but not the big cheddar, like big picture and stuff like that.
Okay.
So music, original song, we have Applause, by Diane Warren, Hold My Hand, Lady Gaga, Lift Me Up by Rihanna. But we have Natu Natu from Triple R. And we also have This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was done by, which I didn't realize was by Mitski and David Byrne. So I'm surprised. I didn't even realize that This Is a Life was actually done by them. But I gotta go. Part of me's like, I gotta go with Gaga. I'm a diehard Gaga stand. We love to see her. I just want to see her go up on that stage, look pretty, and all that type of stuff, and then move on with the day. But if Natu Natu gets it, I will be also very happy. And I feel like Triple R deserves something, you know?
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I literally just threw my mic on the floor by accident.
I was wondering what was happening and going on.
So if I sound a little different, just bear with me.
Okay. All right. So, which one do you think?
Lady Gaga. I love Triple R, and I do think like if they did win, like you were saying, like I'd be very happy. But at the same time, like it was a very good song. Like Lady Gaga put her whole thing into this song.
Goosey.
Yes.
Okay. So Hold My Hand we're rooting for, but Natu Natu will be very happy to see win. Then we have original music. So we have All Quiet on the Western Front by Volker Bertelmann, Babylon by Justin Hurwitz, The Banshees of Inisherin by Carter Burwell, Everything Everywhere All at Once by Sun Lux, and The Fabelmans John Williams. I'm sorry, but I feel like the big name is just going to come in and take this one. It's John Williams. Isn't he like 80? And he's still chirping away some music for Spielberg. I feel like it's gonna be like an Ennio Morricone situation when Ennio Morricone was alive, when Tarantino would just be like, "You're my favorite, work for me," and all that type of stuff. So, what do you think in terms of original score? I know you're struggling with your microphone, but oh, hold on, you are muted.
How about now?
Good.
Okay. I don't know what's going on, guys. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. I can hear you now.
Original score.
So All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, or The Fabelmans?
You're gonna give it to The Fabelmans.
Because it's John Williams.
I really am a hater to my core for that movie, but yeah, I have to agree with you.
I feel like John Williams and Steven Spielberg are the only people that if I were to ever meet them and they go, hey, what's your favorite stuff from me? I would say the most diabolical answer. I wouldn't say like what everyone thinks that they should say. I would look in Steven Spielberg's face and I'll go, Poltergeist is the best thing you've ever made.
Dude.
Like, let's make that abundantly clear. John Williams will be like, what's your favorite score for me? Valley of the Dolls, when you were known as Johnny Williams, bro.
I love Valley of the Dolls.
I love Valley of the Dolls too. So I'll root for John Williams because of my Valley of the Dolls obsession.
Yeah.
Then we have makeup and hairstyling, which is All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, and The Whale. So 2 fat suits involved here from The Whale and from Elvis. Elvis fat suit, you know my complaints about it. You know my issues. We as a nation wanted to see more fat Elvis, and we didn't get it. So that, in my opinion, we're not going to get makeup and hairstyling for Elvis.
We're not.
So
does this sound okay? I'm using my phone as a microphone. I'm so sorry. It's so distracting.
No, I can still hear you. Does
this sound okay?
Yeah. Yeah, you're legible. You're hearing and stuff. It's only a 30-minute video, so we're all good.
Okay.
So
I think I broke my mic. I'm not gonna lie, it's not turning on. So
how'd you do that?
I literally was just like Lady Gaga, and I smacked the freaking microphone on the floor. So all right, anyway, it's fine.
Okay. I can still hear you though. I'll let you know if I'm having trouble hearing you. So makeup and hairstyling. I don't want Elvis to win. They could have upped it. The Whale, possibility. But I don't think the Batman is going to win either. You just put smudgy eyeliner on Robert Pattinson and went with a water gun and just let it run its course. Okay, hold on. I forgot Colin Farrell. That might take it, but he looked really great in Batman.
Yeah, but I feel like, to be honest, as a whole, all these categories are just like not incredibly impressive. I don't feel like they had like a lot to pick from.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honest, I do think, unfortunately, Elvis will get it, even though like I don't think it's the most impressive thing. I just think because of how flashy, and it was fine. Like everybody looked good, but I do think Elvis will get it.
I'm going to go for the Batman just because not only Barry Keogh as the Joker, and that little brief scene where we see him in the Joker face and everything like that, I thought that was pretty impressive because he was like, and I also think because of Colin Farrell in the Batman, I think that definitely, because at the end of the day, I'm just gonna say Austin Butler did not look like Elvis. He looked like Austin Butler playing Elvis. Yeah, the Whale still looked like Brendan Fraser. It's more impressive to completely transform and make Colin Farrell look completely unrecognizable, in my opinion. So I would go for the Batman.
Okay.
International feature film. We have All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay.
I didn't realize was an international film from Germany.
Yes, I knew that.
Argentina, 1985 from Argentina. Close. The Close from Belgium. The Quiet Girl from Ireland. And I have seen this one movie be plastered all over the Criterion channel. It is EO.
I don't want to see it.
Poland.
I don't want to see it.
I have no idea what's it about. Are we going to have
the life of a donkey? You go through his life or his day or whatever. And I feel like something bad's going to happen to the donkey. I cannot bring myself to see it.
I'm going to root for it, though. I'm going to root for EO just because I see the Criterion hyping it up and saying it's actually like one of the best. Like, I saw people saying it's the best film ever made. I'm like, whoa.
My friend. Yeah.
Crazy.
The other film I've heard about is The Quiet Girl.
Okay.
I've heard good things about it. So maybe either one of them.
Okay. Cool. So then we go into film editing. Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tare, and Top Gun Maverick. I would give this to Everything Everywhere All at Once for editing.
Yeah.
Maybe Elvis, because some of those transitions were a little funky and a little fresh. But I think
No,
Everything Everywhere All at Once has more, especially when you consider how little editors they had for a big production like that. So
yeah.
I would give it to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No, 100%. We're rooting for that. 100%.
Documentary short films, we have The Elephant Whisperers, Haul Out, How Do You Measure a Year, The Martha Mitchell Effect, and Stranger at the Gate. I did not see any one of these. I wish them all best of luck in their categories.
Y'all are gonna do great.
Documentary feature film, All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and Nalvany. Once again, didn't see you guys. I can't compare.
I saw Fire of Love and I
Oh,
liked it.
how was it?
It was very, very like it's like kind of like a love story, like
Okay.
about a couple and stuff, like and their like shared interests and like I think it was like volcanoes or something. It was just like a very good story. It's like a
Okay,
very good
we're
story. I
rooting for you,
recommend
Fire of
it.
Love. We're rooting for you here at Purple Noon.
Love it. I saw it a while ago, but I remember being like, oh, it was nice.
Okay. Costume design. Babylon, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Uh-huh. And Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Oh, I really liked Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. It's like all like they're all wearing like vintage Dior and like 1950s
Oh,
costumes. I
okay.
loved it. I don't see it winning over like Wakanda or
Elvis.
Elvis. I don't see it
I
winning over
don't
Elvis.
see Everything Everywhere All at Once winning for best costume design, although I will say Jamie Lee Curtis's character design is absolutely incredible, from the hot dog fingers to the I really love the option, that the fact that she was like, "Oh yeah, I want to wear pants that are 3 sizes too tight." I love that as an option for her character. So, but I think Elvis and Black Panther are going to be the ones to probably take this home.
Yeah, which is fine.
So now we go to animated feature film. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I didn't
Marcel.
I saw those I didn't get it. Like, I didn't watch it, but I didn't get the hype about it. Was it cute?
I didn't see it, but I know it's based off a book, like a kid's
Okay.
book. So I think that's where the hype came from.
Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. The Sea Beast,
Oh, okay.
Turning Red.
I'll
I
tell you
would
who's not winning.
What?
Turning Red's not winning.
Why?
Puss in Boots was fantastic,
Okay.
and Pinocchio was very good.
I
And
could
they
see Pinocchio taking it. I could see Pinocchio. I heard a lot of people, like, if you saw Pinocchio, you didn't like it, you loved it type of stuff.
Puss in Boots has like all phenomenal ratings across the board. So
That
I don't
too.
think Disney is going to take it this year, just because Turning Red was also I feel like when it came out last year, it was really overlooked. Not a lot of people saw it because it was just put on Disney Plus.
Well, there was also like a lot of like weird hate against the film, where
Yeah,
like there were some communities going like, it's about devil worship, and it's like, no, it's
Disney's been
not.
doing that for like it's not it's
Like, it was weird that there was definitely some very odd hate towards Turning Red. But okay, Puss in
but
Boots I
I
could
don't I
see.
think out of the other two Turning Red, I just don't think Disney is going to make it this year up against, which is crazy because Disney gets it every year. But
Yeah.
it was still a good movie. I really liked it. I like the music.
So I will say this: Oscars, it's on site. You didn't nominate Lightyear. One of my close friends worked on Lightyear.
It's on site.
Because of this, I have to go to Lightyear adjacent. So this would have to be Turning Red for me for voting for Pixar, since friend of the show, Alyssa, one of my closest friends from high school and from childhood and everything like that, she works at Pixar. So I'm voting with Turning Red. I'm voting with Turning Red for my allegiance. Okay, now we're gonna hit the main big category. So now we got cinematography. So for cinematography, All Quiet on the Western Front, Barjo, A False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tare. Empire of Light, never heard of until this moment, but I see the cinematographer name and they're going to take home the prize because it's Roger Deakins, the most nominated cinematographer ever, the most person with the most amount of awards and stuff like that. So I feel like already all of these movies have a disadvantage. I also feel like this is not the category I was expecting for cinematography. I am a little disappointed in it.
I am too. Like, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I don't know.
I think this is going to be a Roger Deakins situation where he's great at what he does, right? Like, like Roger Deakins, if he's going to be on, like, he's done, like, Roger Deakins did, like, all of the Blade Runner films. He did 1984, which I genuinely think has, like, one of the best cinematographies of all time. It's such a good looking film. So I think Empire of Light is going to take it, despite me not knowing a single thing about Empire of Light. So that is cinematography. Now we get into directing, the best category there is, with no females.
I think it's either going to go to Everything Everywhere All at Once. I would love to see Triangle of Sadness take it, but I just
Ruben.
I don't think for some reason I don't think they will. So I will say Everything Everywhere All at Once will probably get it this year.
So the other nominees are Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, the two Daniels, just collectively the Daniels.
The Daniels
for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. The Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg. Tare for Tare Todd Field, and then Triangle of Sadness, Ruben Östlund. I will say this: Happy James Cameron isn't on the list. Move on from that sucker. It's too. We're getting the same film over and over again.
He's made Avatar his life work. We have to move on.
Pretty much. So I will be happy with Everywhere All at Once. I think it's very well deserved, but I'm rooting for Triangle of Sadness.
Me
best cinematic experience I've had in a long time.
Me too.
So, and I love the way that it was filmed. And you know me, I'm looking at films, and whenever I'm looking at films, I'm like, put it on a tripod. And this film had a ton of motion in it, and it was put on a tripod.
Yeah. So
I'm a simple woman. I am a simple woman with simple needs, and that is stability in film. Okay, so we went over
we still haven't hit any of the major categories.
We went over film editing.
Yeah. Okay. We need to do like actor, actress,
and best
picture, supporting
actor in a leading role. We got 6 minutes. Actor in a leading role: Austin Butler, Colin Farrell, Brendan Fraser, Paul Mescal, Bill Nighy. I think this is going to go to Brendan Fraser. I think it's going to go to Brendan Fraser.
I'm happy to see it go to Brendan Fraser for sure. I would have loved to also see Paul Mescal get it, because I think his performance was very brilliant, but I don't think it's his year. So
I think it's either going to be Brendan Fraser or Austin Butler.
That seems like the two front runners.
Actor in a supporting role: Brendan Gleeson for Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, Judd Hirsch for The Fabelmans, Barry Keoghan for Banshees of Inisherin, and Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm rooting for Ke. I love seeing that man cry on stage. It's so moving. I want to see him happen again.
Definitely Ke. I could see Barry Keoghan taking it as well.
That too. So, but I'm hoping Ke Huy Quan wins. I loved his character. His character was my favorite in Everything Everywhere All at Once. And like, I love Michelle Yeoh and everything like that. But there was just something so like human and something so kind and sweet about his character that you don't see a lot in film. And I really loved his character and how he portrayed it. Actress in a leading role: Cate Blanchett, Ana de Armas for Blonde.
Nah.
Andrea Riseborough. Michelle Williams, and Michael Yeoh. Nothing against Ana de Armas, everything against Blonde.
Everything against Blonde. I don't want to see it take any awards. Okay, so this is a bit of a toughie for me, because I know
you're a Cate Blanchett stan. I know.
She gave a performance of her life, and she does deserve it. I'd like to see Michelle get it, because she has just been not noticed by the Academy for years. She's an amazing actress.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about performance solely, Cate Blanchett does 100% deserve this. If Michelle gets it, I won't be mad. She's amazing, but
what kind of complex do you think will form in Steven Spielberg's head if the woman who played his mother wins and he loses everything else?
I don't want that movie to get any awards. Love Michelle Williams. No, I'm a hater.
Actress in a supporting role: Angela Bassett, Hong Chow for The Whale, Carrie Condon for Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, or Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've seen Angela Bassett take a lot of the category, so I wouldn't be like, I love her as an actress. I think she's brilliant, but I want to root for Jamie Lee Curtis because I love her character too.
Love Jamie Lee Curtis. Also, I think Hong Chow is how you say her name.
Yeah.
Probably she could get it. This is really just, I see Carrie Coden getting it as well. This is just like I could see a lot of people.
It's a well-rounded category.
Exactly.
I feel like it's pretty split evenly amongst like talent and performance and everything like that. And then we go to Best Film of the Year. So Best Picture, All Quiet on the Western Front, Tuvatar, Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tare, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking.
I'm going with the same as I went for directing. I'd love to see Triangle of Sadness get it. But I do think Everything Everywhere All at Once will take it home because that seems to be the favorite of the year, which it should be. It's an amazing
What's
film,
your third? What's the third one that you'd be happy with?
What about, I don't know. Let me think about it for a second because I didn't.
Banshees of Inisherin? Or Women Talking?
Probably Banshees I'd be okay with. I don't think though, like if it had to be a third, I do think for some reason they might give it to like Elvis or whatever.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
I swear to God, I really hope Austin Butler just goes on stage and just starts belting Elvis music. Like, I just hope we just get like, we're lost in a cloud. I just hope we get that on stage. I will
a whole performance as Elvis.
Just the arm swinging happening and stuff as he's singing. But I would love to see Triangle of Sadness. That's my numero uno. I would also love to see Everything Everywhere All at Once. And because war films, I feel like war films are always going to be top dog because they're such a sensitive subject, and it always gets the tears and everything like that. So I feel like All Quiet on the Western Front could,
but nobody saw it. That's the issue. I feel like nobody saw
no one saw Spotlight. No one saw the film about priests touching children for like 2 hours, and that one. So I mean, like, I feel like that could be like the next Spotlight.
I do feel like the Oscars tend to give Best Picture to the most talked about film, whether or not it was. They did it with.
That's their generic trend.
But I do think Everything Everywhere All at Once does deserve it, even though it is the most talked about film. I still would love to see Triangle of Sadness get it.
If Fabelmans and Tuvatar get it, it's on site. It's
I'm never watching the Oscars again if they give James Cameron another Oscar. If Steven Spielberg, love you, man, was not impressed with this film, you don't deserve it. Take a break. Do something else. Come on.
It was too long.
It was too long.
And too bitter.
Like Stephanie said, go to a therapist because you're just releasing it all on us. We're all right.
I don't want to see that man take the stage and start hitting his family in the grave. I don't want to see that happen.
Dude, I can't. We need a whole
shout out to my mom for cheating on my dad. It made me a better person. I glow up. Where are you? Like, I don't need to see that from a 75-year-old man. I don't need to see that. But that is it. So that is our Oscar predictions. We have 1 minute left on the timer. So real quickly, I'll just say thank you everyone who subscribed to our Patreon, our YouTube, all that stuff. Thank you for listening. As always, shout out to Sensei David. We got
Homeboy
Danny
James.
Boy, Homeboy James, and our buddy Ryan. So thank you guys so much for being Patreons for us. And the next time you hear us, we will be talking about the Grand Budapest Hotel in a regular Purple Noon style episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Happy Oscar watching. Bye.
Bye.